All right, welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is Techtonica. Techtonica is a first person factory automation game, think Factorio, um, with a gripping mystery about mining your way out from the depths of an alien planet. Explore bioluminescent caves, mold destructible terrain, construct a massive subterranean factory, dig your way towards answers, and discover the secrets of the calyx, I guess. Look, it's a made up word with a Y and an X in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, with that in mind, we got the PlayStation 5 version of this game, which is especially important to note here because, um, first things first, the PlayStation 5 version is not the version you should get. Like, I think we should be upfront about this
Mm-hmm.
because the PlayStation 5 version does not have multiplayer, while the Xbox and the PC versions do. So, whatever the evaluation aside, do not pick up this version until the developer resolves their issues with Sony and manages to get multiplayer on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, this is just objectively speaking the worst version of this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, Petty, take it away.
So this game reminds me a lot of, I want to say Minecraft, but there's a lot of heavy, um, like not building centric. I guess it's more akin
I'm,
to Satisfactory.
I'm thinking, yeah, I was thinking either that or Deep Rock Galactic.
I have not played that one, but I have at least heard of Satisfactory.
Right.
So yeah, basically the gist of what you're doing is kind of trying to get get the required um items almost for each area. Um and there are various like mining nodes. Like back where I was just at was limestone. There's also iron and coal. I don't know about coal. I know iron and copper so far of what I found. And they use various plant based biofuels. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if I like that as much unless there becomes a way later on to increase the amount of things you can get as fuel in an area, because right now it seems finite,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also not that deep into the game. um But yeah, it plays like a console FPS, but I have not seen any means of combat.
Hmm.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, an assembler. That's what I was needing to make. I got a little sidetracked on, I guess, getting stuff ready.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, apparently there is a way for combat later in the game. That's interesting. Um, but yeah, the game is interesting, but also is hard to get into, if that makes sense. It
Yeah,
Oh, for
that
fueling
was my.
stuff, that's right. Apologies, yeah.
We just had that a game ago, at least from my vantage point.
Yeah. Cause like there are a lot of like obtuse menus here, which I could definitely see for somebody who's more into these kinds of games would be having a field day. Um
Mm-hmm.
there's the assembler. And like uh, For this requires a lot of thought and like probably a lot of like going through wikis and stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, we have Slice Mister in the chat who's kind of looking at, new chatter for, looks like, because he found us for this. And that's what I wanted. Yeah, I am trying hard to process menus. Sorry.
Well, you're also trying to talk while playing.
Yeah. So apologies for the stuttering and stammering. Right now I'm at the point where I need to be able to create power. And I imagine there are ways that I can, connect these to places as I progress further on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's just a lot of integrated systems here. Like, if you're someone who enjoyed messing with redstone and stuff like that in Minecraft, you might get more out of this than someone like me who didn't really get into that.
Mm.
Not to say that's bad, but there is a, like, I guess, knowledge gap for me personally when it comes to stuff like this. But that might be not the best way to phrase that, but it kind of comes across, right?
No, I get what you're saying. It's like, it sounds like you need to have my nephews come in and educate you.
Possibly.
I mean, if we're talking Minecraft here, oh boy.
There are certain rules, like dealing with redstone for, like...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and there are, like Slices mentioning in the chat, there are even people who don't really get into Minecraft who can get into this, and that's fine.
Once again, like, this isn't really like Minecraft.
Yeah, it's more like a logic toy.
Yeah.
Like, you need to set up the inserters to the conveyor belt to the right way to get it pushing items into a storage block. And then supposedly I can't just have it put stuff directly into the smelter. I don't know if there's a way to do that later, or if it's just like a limitation.
Right.
No, I want to get the ore out. Yeah, sometimes I imagine I would have more fun with this on PC than I would be just on a controller. The UI screams out that it wants to be mouse and keyboard, not controller.
I mean, it's a first-person kind of game.
Well, not even just the first-person aspect. All the menu-driven components.
Yeah, that's the other. Ooh.
Yeah.
Thinking about playing that kind of a game on a console is having me wince.
Yeah. Like, I get some people can do it.
I mean, some people can ride unicycles with their hands. That'd make it a good idea.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, as far as like tech tree and stuff like that, these are interesting to say the least. Like, just the whole concept of like nesting technologies, like, you start off with just basic manufacturing stuff, and then you're building, elaborate, mining operations, damn near computer-esque, like electronic stuff. And then you have your one of the more interesting I found was the, where is it? The mole, which lets you just destroy hunks of material to like flatten an area. So like you see how this has a little bit of slope to it? I can flatten it down if I wanted to build here.
Mm.
Which that's also real cool for like there are certain things you need to have on the field for lack of a better term. Like I think they're called like research cores, or what are these things? Yes, research cores that need to be on the field, but like if you don't want to see them, you can always bury them. So it's one of those things to like make your base nice and tidier. And then I believe I am done with this section. Yes. And then yes, I just unlocked a new tier of technology. And yeah, this is an all right game if you have someone to play with. Cuz trying to play this solo gets almost boring. So I can,
Almost boring.
yeah. There are some like moments it has, like some of the newer tech stuff. I get slightly amused, and then I go back to like, oh, okay, and then I'm just back doing this again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, like we mentioned at the top, the PlayStation 5 version not having multiplayer definitely hurts the game. Oh yeah, Slice, and I imagine there are some people who love this type of thing solo. I'm when it comes to stuff like this or Minecraft, I'm much more social. Like I'd rather be building a stupid structure with my friends than just going off on random adventures alone. That's very much a player preference decision there. As far as music goes, it's very sci-fi to the shock of no one. You start off, you have real weirdly cryptic visions as you're waking up from cryosleep. Um, there are no humans around you, and they're mild spoilers about the only what you thought was a human nearby turned out to basically be an AI in a jar. Well, cube. So you're trying to move up through the levels and see if you can find people and figure out what the heck is going on. Which, giving something like this a like narrative can definitely help to deal with any like tedium. Because if you get invested in that, it would definitely better to help push you forward than if it was just a sandbox where, the only thing you could do is certain, well, not even just like try and let you do everything is like choice overload for me personally. And I end up getting burned out and dropping it. All right. What is that doing? Sorry, I'm having control issues. Okay, there we go. Now it's not locked to that thing anymore. All right. Oh, I need to get more cores. All right. And yeah, you just in this menu you can go craft various things you need. And like for the research core things, it shows I need copper wire and mechanisms as well as just regular copper. It will make those for me, so I don't need to go through all the minutia of building everything individually, putting it, mapping it out on a workbench of some kind, like you would in something like Minecraft. So that's, useful. Whoops, I did not want to get rid of that. And then you have your hotbar here on the screen. It just kind of, I don't know what I did to mess mine up, but for some reason I have multiple copies of stuff, and I imagine there's a way to sort that out, but I got so just bogged down with menus, it's starting to be overloading. So that's definitely one of those things of if like heavy menuing and stuff like that is, I guess, an attention problem for you, because I have ADHD, so trying to keep all my thoughts together for, what I need and from what menu starts to get taxing. So yeah, this probably isn't a very ADHD friendly game. I mean, unless your specific how do I want to put this? Fixation is like machine style stuff. If you're having,
which, in fairness, does not sound super uncommon.
Yeah, it's very much a thing. Like I had some friends who's, even though they're ADHD, they would probably fixate on something like this for hours, if not days.
Oh, that could be autism.
Honestly, they're pretty hand in hand, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yes.
And yeah, there is also the scanner. So like, I've already scanned most things here, but like you can scan stairs to learn how to make your own stairs, or like various machine parts for just a whole bunch of things. Like the scanner is useful at the start, but then it becomes much less useful later. And then there is your manual pick. So like if you don't need to use the mole to clear out a chunk of stuff, but like there's some stuff growing around this ore deposit you want, you can break some of that away with your pick. Technically, you can also manually mine with the pick if you're so desperate you don't have the material to make a auto mine, or like a mining drill. You can still technically just go in and break hunks of ore off manually, which that's cool. And I imagine there's probably a like difficulty run category where you don't use the like any much of the automation stuff. You just kind of go in on it blind. Well, I guess more manual, not blind, but do I have enough? Oh, I need to place my cores. That is something I keep forgetting to do. When something, either I'm missing it or there's not a big enough notification of when something's done building, just the thing in the bottom status area just disappears. So if you're looking at other things, you might miss when something's done and be wondering what you should be doing. And there is fiber inserters, cargo on configure bases. All right. And then, oh, do I have? Okay, I can't make the hover pack yet. And oh, here's some of the energy stuff. Huh. Nifty. I guess fair enough. And I guess to that Dark, there are some people who go for some type of these games go the crazy Luddite route. You know, like there's probably ways to make challenges for both crazy machines and using as little machines as possible. It really depends on how you want to challenge yourself. Be it, challenges in game or challenges self-imposed. But yeah, basically at the end of each level, well, sector, you're basically trying to get the computer to unlock what you need to put in the elevator to make it go up another floor. And then you just kind of keep doing that till you get to the very top. So right now I'm in section Victor. And so far, I guess you go up to Sierra unless there is more after that. But yeah, I guess, what are we looking at price-wise, Adam?
Expensive. At least for an indie title. For a title such as this, it's probably in the price range. That's $30.
Yeah, there's enough going on here. I could see the $30 price tag being worth it, but
I think that's the price Satisfactory goes for.
Probably. But yeah, as far as $30, if you again probably wait on PlayStation until you are able to play with friends, because it is the objectively worse version.
Yep.
But if they resolve that, or if you have another means to play it, like the Xbox, is it Xbox One compatible or just Series?
I don't know.
Because with all this going on, I'm not sure if this would be one compatible. Series probably.
I mean, at the very least, Series 1X. Like, it's gonna, like, if it's on Xbox, it's gonna be compatible with the latest Xbox.
Oh, there's no crossplay currently? I guess that does hinder the recommendation. Because I know some people who are on Xbox. I know several people on PC.
Yeah, apparently it is on the Xbox One.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the reason why there's no multiplayer on the PlayStation version has nothing to do with crossplay and everything to do with user-generated content.
Yeah. Do you want to bring up that? Yeah, I was just about to ask, do you want to bring up that post?
I mean, it's in the Skype window.
Yeah, but like for the people in chat who may not have heard, just real quick summary on that.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, that is the summary, more or less. It's the developers are having a row with Sony over the multiplayer because let's see, Tectonica's multiplayer factory building elements are being classified as user-generated content by the PlayStation 5 certification team. And, and this Reddit post was done 3 months ago. So, presumably they're still working on that. I wish I had more there, but
it'd definitely be one of those we would need to discuss, get the devs on here to discuss things.
Indeed.
And who knows, it could happen. They're definitely not scheduled right now, but who knows?
Yeah, things change, or rather people get added.
Yep. It's like this is a cool game. I just wish I had the certain fixations to get more deeper into this.
Right.
Or ideally if I was playing with this with a mouse and keyboard. Some games on PlayStation will let you use one, but it's hit or miss and down the developers to program that in, and I don't know if they have that.
Also, the chat's telling us that the reason why crossplay isn't here is because the dev couldn't afford it, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That is definitely something that comes up on our program.
Yeah. And it's depending on the engine, they can always add it later. It's one of those things that's never truly gone, and if the game does well, it's definitely something that could come around. That's one of the joyous things of modern game dev.
Indeed.
Oh, this is actually something I haven't scanned, I don't think. Or maybe I did. Weird. But yeah, I think that's it for me, unless you guys have any other questions or comments.
Nope. Right. So that'll about do it for Techtonica here. Be sure to tune in after the break as the Galax reviews Wonder Ball.